Hi everyone, I am Rahul Kumar. Now, India recently celebrated 25th year anniversary of Pokhran 2 on 11th May, marking the successful nuclear bomb test explosion, which became a significant milestone in its journey and to become nuclear power. 11th May also celebrated as a National Technology Day to honor Indian scientists, engineers and technologists who worked for country's scientific and technological advancement and ensure successful conduct of Pokhran test. So let's look in detail. Now, what is Pokhran 2 and India's journey of her nuclear powers? First of all, talk about origins. In 1945, renewed physicist Homi Jahangir Bhabha lobbied for establishment of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Bombay and decided to nuclear physics research. Tata Institute of Fundamental Right became India's first research institutions dedicated to study of nuclear physics. Post-independence, Bhabha convinced the PM Jawaharlal Nehru about the importance of nuclear energy in 1954. The Department of Atomic Energy was founded with Bhabha as the director. The Bhabha operated autonomously away from significant public scrutiny. So what are the reasons for India's pursuits of nuclear weapons? India's pursuits of nuclear weapons was motivated by concern over sovereignty and security threat of China and Pakistan. In 1962, Sino-Indian War and China nuclear test in 1964 highlighted the needs of India to safeguard its national security. The war with Pakistan in 1965 with the Chinese support further emphasized the need for self-sufficiency in defense capabilities. So let's discuss about Pokhran 1 test. By the 1970s, India was capable to conducting the nuclear bomb test. Pokhran 1 was India's first nuclear bomb test conducted in 18th May in 1974 at Pokhran Test Range in Rajasthan. It was named Smiling Buddha and officially described as a peaceful nuclear expansion with few military implications. India became the sixth country of the world to possess weapons capability after US, Soviet Union, Britain, France and China. Now let's discuss implication of this test. The test faced near universal condemn and significant sanctions, especially from US and Canada. It hindered India's progress in nuclear technology and slowed down its nuclear journey. Domestic political instability, such as emergency of 1975 and oppositions of nuclear weapons, are also hindered the progress. After nuclear Pokhran 1 in 1980s shows a resurgence of interest in nuclear weapons development due to Pakistan's progress. India increasing funding for missile program and expands its plutonium stockpiles. Pokhran 2. So let's discuss about Pokhran 2. Pokhran 2 refers a sequence of 5 nuclear bomb test expansions conducted by India between 11th to 13th May 1998 at Rajasthan Pokhran Desert. Their code name is Operation Shakti. This event marked India's second successful attempt. So let's discuss about significance. Pokhran 2 cemented India's status as a nuclear power. It demonstrated India's ability to possess and deploy nuclear weapons, thus enhancing its deterrence capabilities. Indian government, led by Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, officially declared itself as a state possessing nuclear weapons following nuclear Pokhran 2. So, what are its implications? While the test in 1998 is invited sanctions from some countries like USA and condemnations was far from universal like in 1974. In context of India's fast-growing economy and market potential, India was able to stand its ground and thus cements its status as a dominant nation-state. Now, India's nuclear doctrine. This is important. This doctrine talked about India's adopted a policy of credible minimum deterrence, stating that it would maintain a significant nuclear arsenal for deterrence purposes but would not engage in arms race. In 2003, India officially came about with its nuclear doctrine that clearly elaborated on no first use policy. Now, let's discuss about India's current nuclear capability. India currently possesses approximately 160 nuclear overheads, according to the Federation of American Scientists. India has achieved an operational nuclear triad capability, allowing for the launch of nuclear weapons from land, air, and sea. So this is important. The triad delivery system include Agni, Prithvi, and K-series ballistic missiles, fighter aircraft, and nuclear submarines. Now, look this graph. This graph shows the world's nuclear arsenal holding countries. Russia is number 1, 5977. Second, United States with 5428. Third is China with 350, France 290, United Kingdom 225, Pakistan 165 and India 160. So what is the India's status on various international treaties about nuclear weapons? This is very important for prelims point of view. First is Non-Proliferation Treaty 1968. India is not a signatory. It declined to accede to the NPT, citing concern about treaties' perceived discriminatory nature and lack of reciprocal obligation from India's nuclear weapons state. Second is Comprehensive Nuclear Ban Treaty (CTBT). Also, India has not signed in CTBT as it is a strong advocate for time-bound disarmament commitment from nuclear weapons states and may use to lack of commitments as a reason for refrain from signing CTBT. Third is the Treaty on Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. It entered into force in 22nd January 2021 and India is not the member of this treaty. So you must have remembered that nuclear supplier group. India is not a member of NSG because of China's hindrance. So India is not the member of any of these four groups. Now in Wassenaar arrangement, India joined this arrangement on December 2020 as 42nd participating states. Now this question is asked in 2018 prelims. So the question is, what is the consequence of countries becoming the member of nuclear supplier groups? So let me know in the comment section, and thanks for watching friends, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like and comment.